Marvel fans, what's good? We're going to be doing a tier list for pre-MCU movies, and this will be part 1, so we're covering 10 pre-MCU movies. So, let's get into it. And, of course, this is just my opinion, but, I think people can agree to it. So, Marvel's first theatrical movie, according to this page I found on Wikipedia, was Howard the Duck, which came out in 1986. And chat, I'm just going to be honest, I have no desire to watch it. I saw the trailer yesterday and a few clips, and it just looks horrible. I mean, it's Howard the Duck. It came out in the 80s. It has that 80s vibe to it. From what I've read, it bombed horribly financially, and it was just a complete shit show. So Howard the Duck is going into F tier. Alright, so the next movie is 1998 Blade. And actually, Blade is really good. It actually deserves the credit, I guess, for being Marvel's first successful film. I don't think it's the film that started the Marvel Mania boom. I will get into that, but it does deserve the credit. I'm gonna give it a B because it's good. I don't think it's great, but it was probably great when it came out. But it's a solid movie. Wesley Snipes is amazing as this character. So I think a B is fair. Then we have X-Men, which came out in 2000. Now, I used to say this was the start of the superhero boom because it came out in 2000. Sounds modern. But after rewatching most of these pre-MCU movies, I don't think even X-Men is what started it. But X-Men is a great film. I mean, it was probably it has to be like the first superhero movie that has an ensemble cast like this with so many characters, and they're all so great in it. So we're going to give X-Men an A. And if you noticed, I do have an A plus tier. That's just how I like to do my tier lists. But X-Men A, it's a great movie. Then we get to Blade 2. And honestly, when I was rewatching or when I was looking up the Blade movies, I thought they got worse and worse over time, as people said. Like, each installment just gets worse and worse. But Blade 2 is just as good, if not better, than the first. So it's going to be another B movie. That's 2 good movies in one franchise. So already Blade is at a great start. Now, this on my Letterboxd review, 2002 Spider-Man. This is the movie that I think not just started the Marvel Mania boom for superhero movies, but just overall in general. I think Spider-Man 2002, Sam Raimi, Tobey Maguire, this is the movie that started the superhero boom, and it's going in the A plus tier. I don't think it's exactly S tier. I mean, when you look at history, they will probably always go back and say that Spider-Man was like the most popular thing ever. Like that movie, you've seen all the premieres, all the celebrities at them and everything. But I don't know if it's S tier. Like it's 50-50, but you can't put everything in S tier. So that's why I make something in between S and A, because it deserves something better than A. So A plus. All right, so what's next? Then we have, hold on, Daredevil. Chat, hold on. Chat, I'm going to be honest. I think Daredevil, the movie, is horrible. I just think it was so boring. I didn't care for any of the characters, and it was just awful to me. So I'm honestly, and complain in the comments, Daredevil's going in the F tier. I'm sorry, that movie sucks. I have no desire to ever rewatch that movie. I'm surprised they gave Elektra a spinoff because the movie is cheeks. Now, I might be being biased. Maybe when it came out, it was good. Because that's the only Daredevil live action you had. And I've watched, the Netflix show Daredevil Born Again, and that is Daredevil in the MCU is literally probably top 5 Marvel projects ever. And Charlie Cox, Vincent D'Onofrio, just everyone in that show is amazing. That show is seriously it's one of the best shows ever. Not even just like superhero, it's just that show is amazing. So I could be biased saying that, like, oh well, I like what the show did more than the movie because I've seen the show before the movie. That's just my take. I just have no desire to ever rewatch it again. Now, here's where things might get spicy for some of y'all. X-Men United in 2003, it's going in the S tier. This movie is amazing, and it probably set the standard how to make a superhero movie sequel. Like, that's it right there. I just think this movie's amazing. It's one of Marvel's best, obviously one of the Fox era's best. And one of the greatest superhero sequels of all time. I mean, this movie, it's just goated on every level. I can't get enough of it. I wish Singer stuck around for the third one because he nailed the first and second, especially the second. I think X-Men United is goated. All right, then we have 2003 Hulk. Now, before I rewatched that, it held like a special place because it's unique, that movie. It's like the only time you ever see Hulk get bigger when he gets angrier. And honestly, this is not really a review of the movie, but it's a review. I have the disc over there somewhere. It's one of the cleanest looking 4K UHD Blu-ray transfers I have ever seen. It's phenomenal how good it looks, and that it came out 20 years ago, obviously remastered. And this one is unique too because it's like, I think it's the only movie where it does like those comic book slides and the panels and everything. It's so unique, and I'm glad it's the only movie that does that because it does make Hulk stand out, the movie. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have drank that Monster if I was making this video. But overall, it's an all-right movie. It's not the worst. It's not the best. I actually can't compare it to The Incredible Hulk right now because I haven't seen that movie in years either. But I'm going to put it at the C tier. It's not the best. It's a fun watch. It's unique. Eric Bana is really good in it. What's the other girl's name? Jennifer Connelly is great. The villain is and I mean, yeah, the story was all right. Like, I don't know, but it just wasn't. It's not it. It's not X-Men United or Spider-Man. So now we have a sleeper, in my opinion. So when I was looking up, next is The Punisher, and I think it got really mixed reviews when it came out, but as I was watching it and looking it up, apparently it has like a cult following now, and I totally understand why. I was blown away at how good this movie is. Like, it's not S tier, but it's a really, really fun watch, and it's going in the B tier. I can't believe they never made a sequel. That movie was so good to me. I was so entertained the entire time. I hope he shows up in Secret Wars. Pay off that line Deadpool said, which Punisher? There's 5 of them. I think there's only like 4, but Punisher is a really good movie. And it's like $80 on 4K because like its popularity has just risen in years. So yeah, B tier movie without a doubt. And the last part one for my pre MCU rankings is Spider Man 2. And chat, I think you all know where this is going. Spider Man 2 is not A plus. Spider Man 2 is S tier. It's one of the. Honestly, I'm going to say it's the greatest superhero movie of all time. I think everyone can relate to how Peter is struggling in this movie. I think it is just, he's the most human he's the most human a human can be in this movie. He's struggling. He financially, friendships, relationships, his job, just everything. It is the most human movie ever. And in my Letterboxd reviews, I said that the Spider-Man trilogy is at its core a more so like a character driven movie more than a superhero movie. The superhero part is the add on to the Sam Raimi Tobey Maguire trilogy. I mean, I was honestly just blown away at how good Spider-Man 2 is. For a while, when people used to list like their top 10, top 5, and they would always put maybe more so top 5, they'd put Spider-Man 2. I was like, Spider-Man 2, I don't know. But once I rewatched it, I was like, okay, I agree. It is the greatest superhero movie of all time. Sorry, the Dark Knight fans, but no one can really relate to Bruce Wayne because none of us are billionaires. I know that's just that's personal and biased, but Spider-Man 2 is just it's just unreal how good that movie is. And that's it for now. These we'll cover in a part 2. It's missing a few that I want to cover because some of the what I'm categorizing as pre-MCU movies did come out post-MCU. Like, I'll tell you. Punisher Warzone came out the same year as Iron Man, but the MCU didn't really, obviously it had no effect then. Iron Man was the first movie in like its world. So nothing really got like nothing, the MCU didn't take off yet. Then I'm also going to include X-Men Origins Wolverine that came out in 2009, and Iron Man was still the only MCU movie at the time, so that's another film. And then Ghost Rider 2 Spirit of Vengeance. Now that came out in 2011. That's the first year, or that was the year Captain America and Thor came out. So yeah, that's when the MCU started to ramp up, but the MCU, it wasn't like it yet. The Avengers didn't even come out yet. And plus it's a continuity on the 2007 movie. You know, they're both Nicolas Cage. It's, you know, a sequel, a two-parter. So I'm including it in my pre-MCU era. We're not including X-Men First Class and the prequel X-Men, because I think at that time Fox probably knew what the MCU was doing and what they were trying to accomplish, and I think it's totally separated in a way from the original trilogy that, and it feels just more modern, even though it takes place in the 60s, just like the way the movie feels. It doesn't feel old school made. Like, it does feel like, okay, this movie definitely came out in the 2010s. So that'll be for part 2, or actually no, the X-Men. I'll have to do a separate video ranking all the X-Men movies because I'm not including the First Class era in the pre-MCU era. But this is my tier list for the pre-MCU. Some might agree, some might disagree. Some might put Blade in A, or the first X-Men in B, or Spider-Man 1 at S, but I think this is a pretty fair tier list. And I'm sorry, I have no desire to watch Howard the Duck. We might have to consider Blade to be the first theatrical released Marvel movie. because I just think Howard the Duck was horrible. From what I've seen, yeah. X-Men United, S tier. Spider-Man 2, S tier. Spider-Man 1, A+. X-Men, A. Blade 1 and 2, B. The Punisher, B. Hulk, C. I actually don't have any D movies. I'll probably have 1 for the part 2. And if anyone comments on this video what they think the D movie is for part 2, I'll gift 5 subs. And then Howard the Duck and Daredevil at F. I'm sorry, Daredevil was horrible. I'm glad they never made more of them. And I'm surprised that it's weird because I think Kevin Feige met with Ben Affleck about coming back in Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. And would he even have fit on the, what did they call it, the Illuminati? Really? Daredevil in the Illuminati? I don't think, I don't know. I mean, to fit to fit the vibes, sure, just bring in all these past, legacy Marvel actors and characters. Or was it Deadpool and Wolverine? I'm not sure which it was. It was one of those two movies. I feel like it was Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. But I think Ben Affleck said, now's not the time. He'll probably come back for Secret Wars. I'm expecting everybody to be in Secret Wars. Literally everybody. Hell, bring 1986 Howard the Duck into Secret Wars. Sure, you might as well just throw everyone in. Who cares? But that's my tier list. Let me know what you think in the comments. I think this is pretty fair, though. I don't think this is unfair. But, that's everyone's their own. That's the point of having opinions and everything. But that's going to do it for this one. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.